When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious...
Live from Rostrevor County Down, it is Saturday night. Thank you very much and welcome to another Big Nerd Pub Quiz coming to you live from my bedroom. This is quiz number 15 and week number 8 of the series. Thank you very much to you guys. They just keep coming, just all because of you guys tuning in every week. Welcome back if you've played before, and a very warm welcome if this is your very first time playing Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Big hello to everyone out there, and I hope you've been safely enjoying the bank holiday weekend and the good weather. You're very, very good to be staying in tonight and playing this evening. Coming up, we've got 8 rounds, 6 questions per round, and 48 questions in total, all in the next hour, so stick with us and get ready. Here's how you play Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Well, like I said, you can play Big Nerd Pub Quiz the old-fashioned way. You can use pen and paper and play completely analog. But if you want to actually see how you get on in the quiz tonight very quickly and be in with a chance to winning our prizes tonight, use the Google form in the link below in the YouTube description. You can play as a team or individually. It's totally up to yourself. So simply open the Google link, enter your email address in the form below, and answer the multiple choice questions as they are asked. There's 8 rounds with 6 questions each. There's only 1 correct answer per question. Quiz lasts roughly about an hour. And once the quiz is finished, simply hit submit and you'll get your scores immediately at the end, but stick about to see the answers for the quiz. It's recommended that you stream the quiz on a laptop or television and play using the Google form on your phone or other device. Good luck and have some fun. To kick things off, do give us a follow, of course, on all the social media channels. We're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz and share all your photographs and get your shout outs in. Best way to do that is via the Facebook Instant Messenger. I've got tons to shout out tonight from all over the world. So yes, do make sure you get your shout outs in, and I'll be trying my best to give you a hello at some point. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/BigNerdPubQuiz. Like I said, this is week 8, and I've seen the pub quiz grow from absolutely nothing to where it's got to tonight. Over 4,500 followers now to date. The Star Wars quiz there on Monday raking in 26k views. It's absolutely stunning, and it's all down to people like you tuning in. So yes, I'm emphasizing this. Do share it with your friends. If you're really, really enjoying it, do share it with all your buddies. And don't forget, you can replay any of the episodes that we've had in the previous kids quizzes or the specialty quizzes that we've got going on. Just go to the website and check them out there. All the answer sheets are open, so you can play the quizzes at any time that you feel like. You can host the quiz on Zoom if you couldn't be bothered actually writing one. So yeah, you've got at least about 23 ready-made quizzes there for all specialties and all subjects. So you can, by all means, fire away, use them on the Zoom application there or any other house party or Skype or whatever. Speaking of specialty quizzes, I know I've got so much feedback from this so far, but yes, the Harry Potter quiz coming up on Monday, the 11th of May 2020 at 8 p.m. I know so many people out there who are looking forward to this. Don't forget, pop it in your diary. If you know any Potterheads out there, do let them know about it. Monday, the 11th of May 2020 at 8 p.m. And like I said before, don't worry if you miss it. You can always play in the replays. And the Marvel DC quiz coming the week after on the 18th of May 2020 at 8 p.m. at BigNerdPubQuiz on the YouTube. Tonight's prizes, as always, are the Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt, courtesy of Northern Tees. You can also go to their website and use the promo code BIGQuiz for 10% discount. And, of course, we've got Enerzaid. You can win a trial pack of Enerzaid. It's basically what Lucozade used to taste like. It's a fantastic, very cool, old-school, sparkling glucose energy drink that you can check out from their website, enerzaid.co.uk. Use the code BigNerdQuiz for a 25% discount. And yes, get your hands on some Big Nerd Pub Quiz merch. We've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts in all sizes, and you can actually get them in a variety of colors there. To head over to Northern Tees and check out some of the cool swag that they've got over there too. Not just the Big Nerd Pub Quiz stuff, they've got loads of cool, funny, local produced, bantery type t-shirts there. Do check them out. I know my friend Jordan, she bought Looks Your Ma and Your Da. Sorry, Looks Your Ma and Your Da. Anyway, don't forget that Big Nerd Pub Quiz is always free to play. However, you can support the work that goes into making the quiz by donating as little as £1 to the PayPal or consider becoming a Patreon. Links are there, paypal.me/Big Nerd Pub Quiz and patreon.com/Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Like I said before, it's an absolute pleasure for me to do these. I absolutely love making them. It's become a full-time job for me over the last couple of weeks, and I have to say, an absolute pleasure making these quizzes. I'm getting so many suggestions for different types of quizzes coming up over the next couple of weeks, including, which we haven't set a date for it just yet, but there is going to be a football quiz at some point for all you guys who are missing the beautiful game out there, including myself. We're going to put on a football quiz for you guys. And yeah, I know a buddy of mine has been considering writing a Father Ted quiz. I think he started it. So, yes, a Father Ted quiz will happen at some point. I know a lot of you guys out there are keen for that to happen. All right, so let's get ready to start playing Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Tonight, like I said before, that we have 8 rounds of really challenging, tricky trivia out there for you guys. So here we go. Here's the first round of Big Nerd Pub Quiz. The day is Saturday, the 9th of May. So here we go. Our first round, as always, is the general knowledge round. So yeah, general knowledge, it isn't so much general knowledge, it's more kind of, I probably have to reinvent this, but it's always kind of current affairs type stuff. So if you've been reading the newspapers or checking out any of the things that have been happening in the world today, apart from you know what, this quiz is all about that. So here we go, 6 questions, all based about general knowledge and current affairs stuff in the news this week. So here we go, round 1, question 1. Get ready on your Google Docs. Here we go, round 1, question 1. So very simple. What is the name of the RAF crack display team? They did a flyover of London to mark VE Day 75 this week. Very famous display group. I'm looking for the name of the RAF display team that did a flyover of London this week to mark VE Day 75. A very simple one to start tonight off. You've got 4 options in front of you there, so if you don't know it, always give it a stab. So here, round 1, question 2. Which artist left a tribute to the NHS workers at Southampton Hospital this week? It's round 1, question 2. So what artist left a tribute to the NHS workers at Southampton Hospital this week? 4 options there. 4 options in the Google form. Big respect if you are playing analog. So round 1, question 3. What song was played when Donald Trump visited a face mask factory during the week? I have no idea whether this was being played ironically, or were they doing it to wind him up? Possibly the latter. Donald Trump there, of course, visiting the face mask factory, not wearing a face mask. But yes, what song was being played when Donald Trump visited that factory? That's round 1, question 3. Round 1, question 4. Game of Thrones actor Hafthor Bjornsson set a world deadlifting record this week. What was his nickname in the series? So I know a lot of Game of Thrones fans out there. You guys all played the Game of Thrones quiz 2 weeks ago. Massive turnout for that. Big thanks to Sasha for writing it for me. But yes, you can check out that Game of Thrones quiz on the YouTube site. But I'm looking to find out the name of the name of the character Hafthor Bjornsson played in Game of Thrones. What was his nickname in this series? So round 1, question number 5. Which actor is reading The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien in a 12-hour session for charity? So this is quite like Daniel Radcliffe reading out Potter at Home and all the Harry Potter actors. But this is being read out by one actor. And he's reading out all of The Hobbit by Tolkien in a 12-hour session. But which actor is doing that? And finally, your last question today. Which famous musician was in hospital this week for ripping his buttocks to shreds in a gardening accident? His words, not mine. Sorry. I seem to be losing a bit of focus there. So which famous musician was in hospital this week for ripping his buttocks to shreds in a gardening accident? And it immediately made me think something to do with a lawnmower. But no, apparently he just tore his glutes. But yes, I'm looking for the name of the famous musician this week who is in hospital for ripping his bum to shreds in a gardening accident. Okay, like I said, every week when we do the quiz, every round that we do a roundup, so don't worry if I'm going too fast. We always do a quick roundup at the end. So here's your round 1 roundup for this first one. So what is the name of the RAF display team that did a flyover of London this week to mark VE Day? Number 2, which artist left a tribute to the NHS workers at Southampton Hospital this week? 3, what song was played when Donald Trump visited a face mask factory during the week? 4, actor Hafthor Bjornsson set a world deadlifting record. What was his nickname in the Game of Thrones series? Number 5, which actor is reading The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien in a 12-hour sitting for charity? And number 6, which famous musician was in hospital this week for ripping his buttocks to shreds in a gardening accident? Alright, that's your first round over and done with. Like I said, just move on to the next one, whatever app or whatever dock you're playing. We're moving on straight away to round 2. And like I said, don't forget to follow and send all your messages in via the social media channels there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look us up, Big Nerd Pub Quiz, and get any of your suggestions or any of your feedback or any of your shoutouts. Fire them over there and I'll try my best to read them out. Let's move swiftly on to round number 2 this evening, and it is television and cartoons. So yes, TV cartoons round 2. I've started putting up some clues in the social media. So if on the day of the quizzes now, check out the Instagram or the Facebook, and you'll see a little box of 9 different pictures related to this week's quiz. And some of you very observant followers there have noticed that there's some things going to be coming up this one. So here we go, round 2. It is TV cartoons. So here we go, round 2, question number 1. Which famous talk show host wrote The Simpsons episodes Marge versus the Monorail and Homer Goes to College? Gotta thank my sister for this one. She actually has a Disney Plus account, and we are both rediscovering The Simpsons season 2 to season 9 in all its glory. And the best thing about it is they've actually, it's unedited. So these are the jokes that, there's some of the jokes that actually never made it on because they showed it on BBC pre-Watershed. So yeah, there are new jokes kind of popping up. But yes, I'm looking for the name of the famous talk show host who wrote The Simpsons episodes Marge versus the Monorail and Homer Goes to College. 4 options there. He has made an appearance on the show. Round 2, question 2. The TV sitcom The Honeymooners was the basis for which long-running Hanna-Barbera cartoon? So, basically, a lot of these TV shows, a lot of these TV sitcoms were all based on actual current sitcoms that were around at the time. But of the 4 there are listed in the Google Doc, which one provided the basis from The Honeymooners? I think it was Jackie Gleason, 1950s black and white American sitcom. You see it being watched in Back to the Future. But yes, the TV sitcom The Honeymooners, Jackie Gleason, was the basis for which long-running Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Round 2, question 3. I'm looking for the voice of BoJack Horseman. So, which actor voices BoJack Horseman? Very popular show on Netflix at the moment. Got a lot of very famous voice actors in there. But I'm looking for the guy who voices BoJack Horseman. Round 2, question 3. Round 2, question 4. What's the primary universe that Rick and Morty are from? They ultimately Cronenberg that reality at the end of season 1. So this is the universe you actually see basically from episodes 1 through 9, I think. And they screw it up. But Rick and Morty, the original ones, are from this one particular universe. If you're a big fan of the show, you'll know immediately which one it is. But yes, what's the primary universe that Rick and Morty are from? They ultimately Cronenberg that reality at the end of season 1. And then you do actually see they go back to it at one point. But I'm looking for the name of that universe. So round 2, question number 4, the famous Adult Swim show. Round 2, question 5. What year did South Park premiere on TV? First channel it was on was Comedy Central in the United States. Subsequently shown on Channel 4 in the UK. Still going. So Matt Stone and Trey Parker's very famous creation there. Made into a movie in the late 90s. But what year did South Park premiere on TV? I'm looking for the year. 4 options there in your Google Doc. It's round 2, question 5. And finally, round 2, question 6. In which US state is King of the Hill set in? In my opinion, probably one of the finest TV shows ever written. It's just so darn good. And I love every character in it. It's so well written. Mike Judge, the genius behind Beavis and Butthead, King of the Hill, and Office Space. And Idiocracy. If you haven't seen that, do check that out. But I'm looking for the US state King of the Hill is set in. It's set in Heimlich County. Fictional Heimlich County. But in which US state? And there's your American... I've actually noted that all these questions were American cartoons. So yes, I'm looking for the famous talk show host that wrote The Simpsons episodes Marge versus the Monorail and Homer Goes to College. Number 2, the TV sitcom The Honeymooners was the basis for which long-running Hanna-Barbera cartoon? 3, who voices BoJack Horseman? 4, what's the primary universe that Rick and Morty are from? They ultimately Cronenberg that reality in the end of season 1. 5, what year did South Park premiere on television? And 6, in which US state is King of the Hill set in? It's a funny thing, because when I was putting this together, I was like, right, there's tons of great American animated shows, and I couldn't for the life of me think of one British one. Maybe my mind went completely blank, but do let me know if I'm forgetting any amazing animated British show, because I honestly can't think of any, bar the cartoons that we grew up with. But yes, that was your American TV round for cartoons. Gonna get some shout-outs out there before we move on to the next round. So we got a very, very special announcement. Holly and Richard in East Lancashire are celebrating their 3rd wedding anniversary. They were meant to be going away somewhere special, but Unfortunately, because of lockdown, they're here playing the quiz, but thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you on your 3rd wedding anniversary. Congratulations to you guys. Big happy birthday to Owen in Lisburn, and that's from Ruth and family. Big shout out to you. Becky wants a big shout out to Dwayne and Big Nick in Gloucester, and Steve, Vicky, and Jason and son are playing in Warrington. Have I written that down right? I think I have. Anyway, if I haven't, do forgive me. So yes, that's your first round of shout-outs here. Do keep them coming. Best way to get me is on the Facebook Instant Messenger. Okay, firing straight on to the next round. Tonight, we're looking at geography and capital cities. So the next 6 questions tonight are all based around capital cities, little facts and tidbits about them. So here we go. Round 3, question 1 of your geography round. It's a tricky one, this, but yes, how many capital cities does the river Danube flow through? I can have to safely say it's quite a few. Many of the old Habsburg capitals. But yes, round 3, question 1. How many capital cities does the river Danube flow through? Round 3, question number 2. Which country recently moved its capital from Rangoon to Nay Pyi Taw in 2006? Might not be pronouncing that right. But which country recently moved its capital from Rangoon to Nay Pyi Taw in 2006? Absolutely. And weirdly, they've moved it to this place in the middle of nowhere. And there's nobody there bar the government officials and the bureaucrats that run the country. But it's, yes, much like a planned city, quite like Brasilia or Canberra. This is a very recent move. And we've got another capital city which is going to be on the move, which is going to be a subject of another question coming up. But we're going to move on to that one after. So that's round 3, question 2. Which country recently moved its capital from Rangoon to Nay Pyi Taw in 2006? Moving on, round 3, question 3. What's the northernmost capital city in the world? And I mean northern capital city of a country which is a sovereign country recognized by the UN. We've had to kind of double down on that reference there from Pointless, because that's the best way to kind of just put that to bed. Like, you know, okay, there's various states which have capitals, yes, but I'm looking for the world's most northern capital city. So round 3, question 3. And following that up, so what's the most southern capital city? Round 3, question number 4. The other end of the planet. So round 3, question 4. The most southern capital city of a sovereign state recognized by the UN. Okay. So that's round 3, question 4. Round 3, question 5. This is one of those today I learned type questions. But which Asian country is looking to move its capital to a city, to a place called Sejong in 2030? They already started building it. They're looking to declutter its main capital, direct more people to the center of the country. But yes, this is one of these interesting ones. I had no idea this was going on, but it is. And they've already started building it. A good deal of people are starting to live there. I think about 500,000 people already live there. And yes, they're going to move all the country's functions to that one city. But which Asian country is looking to move its capital city to a place called Sejong by 2030? And your final geography capital cities question tonight. So this one a little bit closer to home. Which city is the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland? Very famous city. It's got 2 cathedrals, Roman Catholic one, and Church of Ireland. So any of you guys from here will probably get this pretty straight away. But yes, round 3, question 6. Became ecclesiastical capital of the country when a church was founded there by St. Patrick. But I'm looking for the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland. Round 3, question 6. And there is your roundup there for capitals. Geography. Round 3, question 1. How many capital cities does the river Danube flow through? Number 2. Which country recently moved its capital from Rangoon to Nay Pyi Taw? What's the most northern capital city in the world? And then again, I'm looking for the most southern capital city in the world. Which Asian country is looking to move its capital city to a place called Sejong in 2030? And at number 6, which city is the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland? Interesting fun fact, it's one of the only cities in the UK without a train station. Yes, anyway. So yes, don't forget to share all your photographs and everything. Use the hashtag BigNerdPubQuiz there below. And like I said, if you feel like I'm doing a good job, do tell your friends, like and share the quiz. I think that's more important than any of the donations I'm getting at the moment. I'm really, really appreciative of everyone who's been buying the funky merch and has been supporting me through PayPal and Patreon. But yes, get sharing the quiz. The more people playing it, the better. I love seeing everyone who's tuning in and texting in from all around the world. I think the furthest person I've had away so far has been playing in New Zealand, and I've had other ones playing in Lima in Peru. So yeah, it's been a very, very, very wide range of people. We'll do some more shout-outs after we do round number 4, and that one is History World War II. So no surprise, we're going to be doing a history quiz on World War II, given that it's 75 years since VE Day. Kind of made all these questions around roughly about the end of World War II and its subsequent knock-on effects from that. So the next 6 questions coming up are history questions, and that'll bring us up to a halfway point in the quiz. So here we go. Here's our first question of the history round. So round 4, question 1. So what do the Russians commonly call World War II? Yes, like much of Europe commemorating and acknowledging the end of World War II, the Russians have a different name for it. I've actually put it down there. Velika Otchestvanya Voyna. So yes. So if your Russian's up to scratch, that's the answer. But yes, what do the Russians commonly call World War II? Round 4, question 2. Where was the home of the codebreakers that smashed the Enigma code with the help of Alan Turing? He was the head scientist that led the creation of the bomb, which was the large computer that cracked the Enigma code. But I'm looking for the location of the codebreakers that smashed the Enigma code with the help of Alan Turing. And I put that in because the BBC actually they showed the very last message that was decoded by the codebreakers. And interestingly enough, it was like it was during the invasion, and the Germans were like, right, that's it, we're signing out, bye. So yeah, I'm looking for the name of the very famous place where the codebreakers broke the codes. So that's round 4, question 2. Round 4, question 3. Who was President of the United States on VE Day 1945? So, round 4, question 3. I'm looking for the name of the President of the United States on VE Day in 1945. Round 4, question 4. So which group of islands were finally liberated a day after VE Day on the 9th of May 1945? So this day, on this particular day, 75 years ago, this group of islands were finally liberated a day after VE Day. So VE Day being the 8th of May, the day after, on the 9th, group of islands finally liberated. And I would need the name of that. So that's round 4, question 4. Round 4, question 5. I'm looking for the name of the person who briefly succeeded Adolf Hitler as the head of the German Reich following his suicide in April 1945. So he was I'm looking for the man he was an admiral. So the name of the man who succeeded Hitler at the end of the German Reich following his suicide in 1945. And that official title being President of the Reich. There were several other successions, but I'm looking for the man who took over and was president and ultimately oversaw the surrender of Germany in May 1945. And final question, round 4, question 6. Following the Allied victory, which city was the site of the trial of the Nazi war criminals? So round 4, question 6. I'm looking for the name of the city that hosted the trials of the Nazi war criminals. It's round 4, question 6. I think one of the American prosecutors is actually still alive and gave an interview during the week. So, there is your history roundup, round 4. Question number 1. So, what do the Russians commonly call World War II? Velika Ostrvanya Voyna. That's what that says. But where is the home of the code breakers that smashed the Enigma code with the help of Alan Turing? Number 3. Who was the President of the United States on VE Day 1945? 4. Which group of islands were finally liberated a day after VE Day on the 9th of May 1945? 5. Who briefly succeeded Adolf Hitler as the head of the German Reich following his suicide in 1945? And 6. Following the Allied victory, which city was the site of the trial of the Nazi war criminals? Okay, so the time now is just past 8:30, and we're now halfway through the quiz. Hope you're all enjoying it. Hope you're all having fun and staying safe. And getting tons of messages here on my phone from people. So it's time to do a quick few shout-outs after these messages. So do check out this podcast. My buddy Jez and Mary, they're stuck in London, and they've been making this podcast for the last couple of weeks. Jez very kindly wrote the Jim Henson quiz round there a couple of days ago, and it went down really, really well. So, like I said, if you have any suggestions for rounds, or if you'd like to write a quiz, by all means, let me know. Also, check out Hot Topic Nightmare on mixcloud.com/Hot Topic Nightmare. Buddy of mine, Paul's podcast, he does a series of topics and issues which his friend has to talk about and give a presentation on, and it's always something really random, so do check that out. That's mixcloud.com/Hot Topic Nightmare. Also check out the podcasts from Banterflix and Fright Club. Give Fright Club a wee follow there on frightclub.ni. Fright Club NI on Twitter as well. But yes, banterflix.com, they have a local TV station on NVTV in Belfast, so do check them out. They're good crack. And also my buddies, the Nerd Party. There's a collection of podcasts and shows dedicated to everything in geek entertainment. Lots of stuff there. Star Trek, Babylon 5, all that jazz there. But do check that out. That's my mate Lee who does that. And don't forget, the prize is the Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt. This week's winner is Theo Thomas, whoever you are. You're getting a Big Nerd t-shirt, Big Nerd Pub Quiz t-shirt, and a 6-pack trial pack of Enerzaid coming your way this week. So we'll be in touch with Theo Thomas, whoever you are. And don't forget, if you want to buy some Big Nerd Pub Quiz merch, you can go to the nornarntees.com website and pick them up there. They're very, very cool. Great quality, I have to say. And like I said before, you can support Big Nerd Pub Quiz by donating the price of a pint or a cup of coffee to my PayPal or Patreon. You can donate as little as £1. Massive thank you to everyone who's been supporting the quiz over the last couple of weeks. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. We'll get some more shout-outs done tonight. We've got Neil, Alex, Zach, and Flo in Buckinghamshire. Hello to you guys. Big hello to Nikki and Graham, and that's from Michelle. So Nikki Graham, and that's from Michelle and Graham in Belfast. And they're playing over Zoom. Good to hear from you guys. We've got the London Massive, Tom, Sarah, Phil, Rory, Paul, Lloyd, Becca, Greg, Juliet, Steph, Vicky, Ollie, George, Dave, and Hannah, who are staying safe. And I'm loving the Costa del Walthamstow paddling pool you guys got set up. It looks absolutely amazing. And last shout out before we move on, Chris Davies, and he wants a shout out to the gang in Larne. So good to hear from all you guys who've been tuning in. Don't forget, you can follow all the social medias. Get your messages in via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Push all those follower numbers up. Great to hear from you all, as always. Okay, so here we go. Moving on to the next round. Round 5, as always, is the sports round. So this week on Big Nerd Pub Quiz, we're going to be looking at sports records. So the following 6 questions are all about particular record holders from different sports. All I need is the name of the athlete in question. So here we go. Round 5, question number 1. I'm looking for the name of the fastest Premier League hat-trick ever scored. So who scored that? So the fastest ever Premier League hat-trick. Round 5, question number 1. Fastest ever Premier League hat-trick. Who scored it? Round 5, question 2. The most all-time points ever scored in the Six Nations. That's not tries, that's not conversions, we're talking points overall. Okay, so the all-time point scorer of the Six Nations. Round 5, question 2. Round 5, question 3. I'm looking for the name of the cyclist who has the most Tour de France stage wins. So that's round 5, question 3. The cyclist with the most Tour de France stage wins. Round 5, question 4. My dad should get this. The most successful winning horse at the Grand National. Only horse to win it 3 times. But yes. The most successful winning horse at the Grand National. Jez, you should get this, buddy. You're a big cricket fan. Round 5, question 5. The most test centuries in Test cricket. I'm looking for the most centuries in Test cricket. Not, in fact, it is the player who has the same in one-day internationals and other events. He has also the most centuries in Test cricket as well. But yes, I'm looking for the most centuries in Test cricket. And finally, round 5, question 6, the fastest 147 in snooker. I'm looking for the player who has the fastest 147 in snooker. Nice variety there, I think. So there's your round 5 sports roundup there. So number 1, I'm looking for the player with the fastest Premier League hat-trick. Number 2, the most all-time points ever scored by a player in the Six Nations. Number 3, the most Tour de France stage wins. Number 4, the most successful winning horse at the Grand National. Number 5, most centuries in Test cricket. And number 6, the fastest 147 in snooker. Okay, so that's your sports round for the night's Big Nerd Pub Quiz. The next round, I have been asked to write a particular round this week due to a rivalry. Now, I got a message from Alistair and Joanne, and they are keen to thwart the Lemons from Newton Ards. They've been in a heated battle with them week in, week out, playing Big Nerd Pub Quiz, and they feel that the only way to stop them from coming in second again is to get a science round. So, not to say that I've been swayed in any way, I thought, why not? Let's do a science round. So, round 6 this week for Alistair and Joanne. This is for you guys. You asked for it, you got it. I've come up with 6 questions based on science facts. So here we go. I hope this is tricky enough for you guys, and I hope it's enough to get you over the line against the dreaded Lemons in Newton Ards. So here we go. Good to see some friendly rivalry out there. So here we go. Science round 6, question number 1. I'm looking for the name of the Russian scientist who devised the periodic table. This particular scientist had the foresight to actually acknowledge that there were elements that were going to be explored and discovered. So he left spaces in it for that. But I'm looking for the Russian scientist who devised the periodic table. Round 6, question 2. In the television show Breaking Bad, Walter White took his pseudonym from which German scientist? So like I said before, in the TV show Breaking Bad, Walter White took his pseudonym from which German scientist? And sticking with Breaking Bad, what periodic elements make up the Breaking Bad logo? So I'm looking for BR and BA. I'm looking for those particular elements. So what periodic elements make up the Breaking Bad logo? I'm not sure if you can actually make a crystal meth with them. If you know, let me know. We're on the Facebook, on the Instagram there. Any crystal meth lab owners, do let me know how to make it. Only kidding. Anyway, round 6, question 4. Which famous British physicist wrote A Brief History of Time? It's round 6, question number 4. Which British physicist wrote A Brief History of Time? Fairly straightforward, that one. Round 6, question 5. Which oath of ethics taken by doctors is named after an ancient Greek physician? So all doctors take this oath, and it is to do no harm to a patient and to try the best to tend to their needs and to make them better. But I'm looking for the name of the oath taken by doctors after the ancient Greek physician. That's round 6. Question 5. And finally, the final science one. I hope this was good. I hope you got these all. Are you science teachers? Is this why you asked for this particular round? But round 6, question 6. What is the study of mushrooms called? So the study of mushrooms and fungi. What is that known as? That's round 6, question 6. I'm looking for the name of the study of mushrooms and fungi. What is that known as? And there's your science roundup for today. So I'm looking for the name of the Russian scientist that devised the periodic table. Number 2, in the TV show Breaking Bad, Walter White took a pseudonym from which German scientist? Number 3, what periodic table elements make up the Breaking Bad logo? It's BR and BA. Number 4, which famous British physicist wrote A Brief History of Time? Which oath of ethics taken by doctors is named after a Greek physician? And finally, what is the study of mushrooms called? Okay, so that's the science round done for tonight. Thank you very much for that suggestion, and I hope it actually helped you. Do let me know afterwards once you get your scores. Like I said, just to remind you guys, once you complete the final round, hit submit, and you'll get your scores immediately. But do stick about, and I'll read out every answer for the quiz tonight and let you know how you got on. A couple more shout-outs before we move on to the next round. We've got all those guys. We've got thanks to David Mooney in Chester for letting me play his quiz with his friends and family in Chester on Thursday night. Thank you very much. It was very challenging, very well put together. I'm actually going to take some ideas from that quiz, so thank you very much for having me there. Haley Dollinson wants a shout out to Kerry, Caroline, Thomas, and the kittens, Fiona, Abby, and the Affinity IT nerds. Also, shout outs to Viv, Stephen, and Katrina in Limerick. And one more shout out to Declan in Jersey, Colin in Toronto, and the rest of the Warm Point gang. John Rafferty, Frank Martin, and all those guys who are playing the quiz tonight. Good to see you guys playing, and thanks for the feedback, Raffo. Raffo is going to be writing a a Father Ted quiz. We were discussing our favorite Father Ted episodes there tonight. So yes, that will happen. Okay, so round 7 is normally a special round, and this week I wrote it to be a Eurovision round. However, somebody did point out to me that Eurovision was meant to happen next week. Obviously, it's been cancelled, but I actually wrote the Eurovision round thinking that the Eurovision was going to be on this week. So I've actually put a hold to that. We're going to have the Eurovision round for Big Nerd Pub Quiz next week, and I thought I'd come up with another type of music round. This one is music, and it's the Beatles. Okay, so much like the history round and the geography round from the previous 2 episodes, I'm going to be showing you 6 Beatles albums. I want them placed in chronological order. That's all it is. So 6 very famous Beatles albums, all come out in various times, and I want them in chronological order. So on your answer sheet, you will see all 6 albums listed. They'll all be jumbled up. But yes, here we go. I'm going to show you those albums. And very simply, so if you think Rubber Soul was the first album, put it at number 1. If you think Let It Be was the second one, put it at number 2, and so on and so forth. We've got 6 extremely famous, brilliant Beatles albums there. We've got Rubber Soul, Let It Be, Abbey Road, Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band, Beatles for Sale, and Revolver. So I want them in order of release date. UK release date, not American release date, UK release date. Also, I emphasize this, in order which they were released, not recorded. There is a bit of a discrepancy there in the order. And actually something, as a mad Beatles fan myself, I never actually copped on about. But yes, 2 of the albums are actually recorded in different orders, but were released at different times. But I'm looking for the release dates of these albums. So I'll keep these up for about 2 minutes or so. Rubber Soul, Let It Be, Abbey Road, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and Beatles for Sale and Revolver. The Revolver cover was actually made by a buddy of theirs called Klaus Voormann. That's the first Beatles album to actually not have a member of the another member of a person other than the Beatles in it. He's actually put himself in there too. The Abbey Road cover is now become a tourist attraction. It's in northwest London, not too far away from St John's Wood. Peter Blake, the designer of the Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band album cover there. The Beatles all picked people they wanted to have in the album cover. There's a little reference to the Rolling Stones in there too. And interestingly enough, Rebecca Front, the actress from the TV shows such as The Thick of It and Alan Partridge and The Day to Day, her father designed the font for Rubber Soul. So that's an interesting fun fact on that album cover design there. But yes, I'm looking for the order in which those albums were released. Rubber Soul, Let It Be, Abbey Road, Sgt. Pepper's, Beatles for Sale, and Revolver. 5 more seconds on that, and then I'll move on. Don't worry, at any point, you can stop and pause the quiz and go back. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. Like I said, if you are playing by pen and paper, it's actually quite a handier way to have some notes. Okay, some more shout-outs before we move on to the final stage of the quiz. Final round, round 8. Quick more shout-outs here. So Marie in Cork says hello to Tim and Andrew who are playing in the USA tonight. Hi to you guys. Must be early enough over there. David Warrington is he wants a shout out to Fee, who is playing the quiz at the Scottish Dark Observatory in Ayrshire. Not the only scientists who watch the quiz on a regular basis. I know there's a bunch of guys from the European Space Agency in Cologne that watch it. So big shout out to you guys, and they've invited me over. They've actually said I'm more than welcome to come over to visit them at any point after the lockdown is over. And another big shout out to Liam, Alice, and Baby Violet, who listen to the quiz every week. Good to hear from you guys again. Okay, so here we go. We're moving on to the final round of the quiz tonight, and I hope you all enjoy it. It's a picture round, and it is another specialist one. It's food and drink, and this one is chocolate bars. So big thanks to Richard Osman from Pointless. Not that we're friends or anything like that, but I did borrow this off his Twitter feed. He's basically showed a big grid of chocolate bars cut in half. All I want from you is to guess the name of the chocolate bar. Sounds simple, but might not be as simple as you think. So this one's to all you guys who have a sweet tooth out there. Here's 6 chocolate bars. I'm looking for the name of those chocolate bars. So here we go. Round 8, question number 1. See, a lot of these, you think they're obvious enough, but they're actually not. They're not as obvious as you think. But that's round 8, question number 1. What chocolate bar is that? Round 8, question 2. This is a favourite of mine. So round 8, question 2. That should be a fairly easy one for you guys. You should all know that one. So, round 8, question 2. What's that one? Round 8, question number 3. See, these aren't as simple as you think. You're like, oh, chocolate bars. Oh, yeah. When's the last time you actually looked down and looked at what chocolate you're eating? Normally you just scoff it into your mouth. Round 8, question number 3. Getting tons and tons and tons of shout-outs here on the Facebook. Make sure to get a few of them out before the end of the night. Round 8, question number 4. What type of chocolate bar is that? This is actually making me really hungry. I didn't think this would happen, but yeah, I said I'd be good. I'd say I'd try to cut the carbs and the sweets. But yeah, this is not helping. Round 8, question 4. Leave these up. We will go through these again, so don't worry if you don't catch them the first time around. Round 8, question 5. What's that? Let's break it down. Well, obviously it's chocolate, and it's got some like Rice Krispies in it. And before I show you the last one, don't forget, once you hit submit, you'll get your score straight away, but do stick about for the answers at the very, very end of the quiz. So here we go, round 8, question 6. That should be fairly obvious. It's bubbly, it's green, it's got chocolate on the outside of it. What type of bar is that? It's round 8, question 6. Let's go through the chocolate bars again. Starting from question number 1. Question number 2. Question number 3. I'll give you a quick clue on question number 3. It's only one of them. There are multiple ones of this particular bar. Let's round out question 3. Look at the shape. Take into consideration the shape. Question number 4. Question number 5. And question number 6. Pretty sure you've all got that one. Alright, so that's it. That's Big Nerd Pub Quiz for the 9th of May, Saturday, 2020. Thanks so much again for playing Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Don't forget, we've got loads more quizzes coming up. We've got the Big Nerd Pub Quiz that takes place every Wednesday and Saturday. We're here all the time at 8 p.m. Over the next couple of weeks. And don't forget, the Harry Potter quiz on the 11th of May. Sign up, go to the Facebook page, look for the event and sign up through the Facebook page. You'll get all the information coming up about the Harry Potter quiz. For those who've been asking, we are making the Harry Potter quiz solely about the books and the movies. We're not doing any expanded universe and we're not doing the play. So a huge sigh of relief. I had a lot of people asking me about that. And Marvel DC quiz, which is actually going to be more of a comic books quiz as well. There's other stuff in there. Neil Cochran's writing that one for me. Big thanks to him for that. But yes, we've decided to branch out a little bit and stick in a couple of other comic book franchises in there as well. So I'll do as many shout outs as I can before I shoot on to the answers. Natalie Pipes says she wants a shout out to Kerry, Steve, John, Natalie, who are playing in Aylesford in Kent, loving the quizzes, signing in from the back garden, looking forward to another great quiz. That's Martine and Jim from Kalenchi. Good to hear from you guys. Gina Favell says thank you for her shout out. Hayley Pender says she's looking forward to another great quiz. Thanks very much. Una says she said big shout out to Teresa and Chelsea in Illinois who are playing the big quiz for the Big Nerd Pub Quiz for the first time. That's from Una and Aaron. Thanks for you guys. Declan McKay, she wants I'm not reading that out, Decky. Lorraine Doyle said she wants out to Eileen and Patty in Longford. Eileen is celebrating her 21st birthday today. Love from Lorraine. And Emma, thank you so much for tuning in. Joachim Hacker is playing. He says he's playing from Lübeck in Germany. He says hi to Eiley and David Perry in Belfast. Stay fun and stay safe. Natalie McDonald says Natalie and Lewis are playing along in Glasgow as usual. We've got Alex and Mark in Port Stewart saying hi as well. We've got Darkwing Duck and Danger Mouse were the British card. Oh yeah, but I suppose Darkwing Duck was American, was it not? Was it not Disney? Anyway, Joshua Blair says she wants he shout out to the Blair family outside Coleraine and Baby Rocco, the Cocker Spaniel. Matt Seeley is playing again. We've got Sadie Bradbury, of course, from Halifax in Canada, saying hello to Grant, Diane, and Derek. And one more shout out. We'll do one more shout out to Charlie Sutton, who says, give a shout out to OJ, who is playing. He's going to feel the wrath in his quiz tonight. If I didn't get to give you a shout out this evening, massive apologies. I get inundated with messages, and I do love giving them out because I just think it's great to make you feel like you're involved with the quiz. But I'm really, really sorry. If you do definitely want to shout out, get in touch via the social media before the next quiz. Okay, so the moment you've all been waiting for, tonight's answers. So here we go. Stick about. Here's our general knowledge roundup. Round 1 answers. The Red Arrows or the RAF display team. Banksy gave the art to the Southampton Hospital. They played the Live and Let Die theme when Trump visited that hospital or that factory for some reason. The Mountain is the name of the character in Game of Thrones. Andy Serkis is reading out The Hobbit. And Brian May is the musician who ruined his bum. Anyway, round 2. Conan O'Brien is the chat show host that wrote those Simpsons episodes. The Flintstones were the basis for The Honeymooners. Will Arnett is the voice of BoJack Horseman. C-137 is the dimension that Rick and Morty are from. 1997 is when South Park debuted. I actually thought it was 98, but I did research it. It's 97. And King of the Hill is set in Texas. 4 capital cities sit on the banks of the river Danube. Myanmar has moved their capital. Reykjavik is the most northern one, and Wellington in New Zealand is the most southern one. South Korea is the country that is actually moving its capital in 2030, and Armagh is the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland. The Great Patriotic War is what the Russians call World War II. Bletchley Park is the location of the Codebreakers. Harry Truman was the president of the USA just after Franklin Delano Roosevelt died, only a few days before, like literally a couple of weeks before. The Channel Islands were the ones liberated on this day 75 years ago. Admiral Karl Donitz was the successor to Adolf Hitler before the German surrender, and Nuremberg was the location of the Nazi war crimes. Sadio Mane, it's not Robbie Fowler. I initially thought it was Robbie Fowler, but Sadio Mane, when playing for Southampton, actually scored the fastest hat-trick. Now he plays for Liverpool. Ronan O'Gara has the ultimate points of the Six Nations. Eddie Merckx is the Belgian cyclist with the most Tour de France wins. Red Rum is the famous horse who won the most Grand Nationals. Sachin Tendulkar is the man with the most centuries in Test cricket. And Ronnie O'Sullivan with the fastest 147. Science round. Dmitry Mendeleev is the scientist who came up with the periodic table. Werner Heisenberg was the scientist who came up with who was the moniker for Walter White in Breaking Bad. Bromine and barium. You would have got that. It was BR, breaking, and BA, bad, breaking, bad. So bromine and barium were the 2 elements I was looking for. Stephen Hawking wrote Brief History of Time. The Hippocratic Oath is the oath taken by doctors, and mycology is the study of fungi and mushrooms. Here's the order of those Beatles albums. So Beatles for Sale, 1964. Rubber Soul, 65. Revolver, 66. Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club, 67. Abbey Road, 69, and Let It Be in 1970. Abbey Road was actually recorded after Let It Be, which was a disastrous film session that they were going to do in early 1969, but it wasn't released until 1970. So Let It Be was the final Beatles album released, even though it was recorded before Abbey Road. And the final... These are the actual chocolate bars that were shown in the final one. So it was Mars, Crunchy, Kit Kat, Snickers, Lion. I thought that might have thrown a couple of people. And Mint Arrow are the last one there. We'll take a quick look at those. So there we go. Mars, Crunchy, Kit Kat, Snickers, Lion, and Arrow. That was it. Those were the chocolate bars there. Anyway, thank you so much for taking part in tonight's Big Nerd Pub Quiz. Don't forget, like I said before, the next Big Nerd Pub Quiz is going to be on the Wednesday. But don't forget the Harry Potter quiz coming up on the 11th of May. I know so many hot Potter heads who are so excited about that. If you know anyone who loves the books and the movies, do tell them about it. It's going to be a really, really good quiz. My friend Steph is researching and writing the quiz as we speak, and she says it's going to be a challenging but fun quiz for people to do. And we're going to be looking over that as well. And the Marvel DC quiz on the 18th of May 2020. So thank you so much for taking part tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe using all the hashtags Big Nerd Pub Quiz, and get in touch with me. Any feedback that you have, or any kind of, if you want any suggestions for quizzes, or any suggestions for rounds, or if you want to write one, or if you want me to host a private quiz for you guys, if you've got organizations or groups that you would like me to run a quiz for you, by all means do get in touch. I do offer that service from now. Anyway, and don't forget to donate if you feel like I've done a good job, and thank you so much for everyone who's been playing. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to donate via the Patreon and the PayPal, and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's it from me tonight on Saturday. We'll see you again, all you Potterheads, on Monday night. The kids quiz on Tuesday at 2. If you've got little ones and you want something vaguely educational for them to do, kids quiz is always at 2 p.m. And the Marvel DC quiz the week after. All the links are there. Get in touch with me. And like I said before, have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you again on Monday for the Potter quiz. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And I'll see you soon. Good night.